Apex has a lot of stuff in the works, and it turns out some of the stuff coming in the new update may hint to Respawn's future plans for the game. But first of all, in the next update we are actually getting a brand new battle pass, because we do get 2 battle passes per season. So many people have been wondering, what is the new reactive weapon going to be on the season's 2nd battle pass? And it turns out it is going to be another reactive P2020. It isn't actually going to be a brand new skin per se, it is going to be a recolor of the existing reactive P2020 on the current battle pass, and it's going to look like this. So it looks pretty average, but I'm sure the effects will look quite cool. We don't know what the new legend skins are going to be on the 2nd battle pass, and we also don't know what the theme of the 2nd battle pass is going to be, whether it's just going to be the same theme with neon masks and stuff, or it's going to undergo a whole new theme. Regardless, that is something that's coming with the new update that a lot of people are overlooking. Also, in the new update we are getting a brand new universal heirloom, and in the patch notes Respawn did mention it's going to have a kill counter and also an icon that shows on it when you are the kill leader, but we didn't see any gameplay of this until yesterday, where Respawn released this, and they actually show how this system is going to work. Basically, on the back of the sword there are going to be these 5 triangles, and for every single kill you get in one game, a new triangle will appear on the back of the sword, and this counts up to 5 kills until it caps off. Also, those of you with a keen eye may notice on the top of the sword there is also a crown, and the interesting thing is this crown only shows on the sword when you are the kill leader of the game, which is very interesting. Right now it seems like these 2 little features are going to be add-ons to the sword, so if you buy the sword you will have to spend extra artifact shards on these features, which kind of sucks honestly, especially considering you have to spend so much to get the universal heirloom in the first place anyway, although there will be 2 opportunities to get free event packs during the event from the rewards store, so you might be able to get this for free if you're a very lucky individual. Although a day before Respawn even announced the new update, they made a pretty big change to the game. Yesterday they announced on their Twitter, on Wednesday we rolled out an update to our Apex anti-cheat that blocks programs giving players an unfair competitive advantage. If you're unable to launch the game, please disable any programs running in the background that may interfere with Apex. And a few people were confused to what these programs are, and a lot of users did clarify. The programs Respawn blocks were crosswear softwares, auto hotkey softwares, rewasd, joy 2 key and things like that. Basically things giving people a small competitive advantage that would be impossible to detect otherwise. Still, unfortunately this doesn't cover everything, as Cronus devices are still usable in Apex if you have a console, which is still really bad news, because there are people going around with undetectable anti-recoil cheats. Respawn did release a blog post a few weeks ago talking about their anti-cheat efforts, and they are trying, and Respawn say they ban hundreds of thousands of people a month for cheating. And I don't think Respawn are deliberately not banning Cronuses, I just don't think they've found a way yet honestly. They did a really lengthy blog post about their efforts on anti-cheat, and Respawn are clearly aware that one of the biggest issues of the game is cheaters. So if they had the option to ban Cronuses, I think they definitely would. I think they just don't have the resources for it at the minute. Respawn did also mention they're creating new tools to help them with anti-cheat efforts, and even have teams with 24/7 coverage to fight cheaters, which is pretty cool. Respawn actually also showed us this little graphic of the June and July 2024 bans, and it shows that they banned 205,000 people permanently and 4,000 people temporarily. And a majority of the people they banned were cheaters, but they did also ban some bot accounts on the side, which isn't surprising because a few months ago, you may remember, bots were absolutely taking over Apex. But it seems Respawn has this under control to some degree and is definitely banning the accounts, I guess. Although Respawn's plans for the future of Apex don't stop there, and a few people did notice something weird in game which may actually be hinting towards a future change to shields in Apex, and this is potentially a green level of shield. Essentially, there was a glitch discovered a few weeks ago, which is now patched, so don't bother doing it, where if you dropped your shield out of the zone as a controller legend, and then picked it up in the zone, it would level up. And people found out you could use this strategy to level up your shield beyond red level, which was once thought impossible. And when you did this, the shield wouldn't stay red, no. It would go green, which now seems to be the level above red, which is very strange. Unfortunately though, if you try to drop the green shield to look at it on the ground and potentially see its appearance, it would crash the server, because I assume Respawn don't have the assets in game for a green shield, so when you drop it, the game just simply dies. This is strange, and I don't see why Respawn have literally coded a rarity above red shields without maybe adding it to the game to some degree one day. Maybe they add a new version of the gold shield where a green shield regenerates slowly over time or something like that, or maybe they just want to add a level over red, which I highly doubt because we don't really want this game to become Overwatch, although Respawn are clearly messing around with something. Another thing Respawn are messing around with was actually leaked a few weeks ago, and it turns out Respawn might actually be trying to take more of a Warzone approach to Apex in the future with its weapon system. As you may have noticed in a lot of the LTMs recently, all of the weapons on the ground have been fully kitted. You haven't been able to pick up attachments. Respawn have said they've been doing this to make the game modes flow faster, but it turns out they might also be testing a new gameplay feature they will permanently implement into the game, which will essentially add loadouts to the game, which is a system called Warzone uses. This was actually leaked by Grrt, who is a really good leaker these days. They are very accurate, and they said Respawn are testing right now a fully kitted weapon system. And before I say what this system is, do take in mind this is something Respawn are testing, not adding. Testing. If the testing goes well, maybe they'll add it, but they're testing it right now. And essentially, they are testing a system of removing all ground weapon spawns and allowing you to choose your weapon combination at the game start. I guess this system will be much like when you start a mixtape game. Your weapons will improve as the ring level increases, meaning it's not attached to your shield, so everybody has the same rarity guns throughout the game, which kind of makes the game fair to some degree. And you can change your weapon combination at designated locations during the game, which is essentially changing your loadout. Once again, very similar to the COD Warzone system. And once again, I must stress this is something Respawn are testing, not currently adding. But it's interesting that Respawn are considering basically removing looting from the game. Along with this, Respawn are testing a legend weapon perk system where legends get bonuses when using certain weapons. So basically like the existing system in the game where Maggie is better with a shotgun and Rampart is better with an LMG, but for many more legends. The legend weapon bonuses that are being tested are stuff like faster reload, faster aim down sights, larger magazines, and more stuff like that. I would imagine Respawn would implement this maybe with Mirage and the Wingman, Bangalore and the G7 Scout, etc, etc. Basically legends with their iconic weapons. Also, legends will receive a bonus when using a weapon that has been unlocked from a specific list, and when a legend reaches the maximum level, other legends can use that legend's bonus. Once again, this is being tested in the game and it may never be added, but it's interesting that Respawn are pivoting towards basically reworking how weapons work on a whole in Apex. I wouldn't be surprised in the future if you see some of these ideas presented in an LTM, as Respawn do like testing new gameplay features in LTMs first. I wouldn't be surprised if with the new update there's going to be an LTM where you can create your own loadout and use it in Battle Royale, so Respawn can see how people like this change. With this being said, none of these changes are coming in the next update, but they may come in a future season update. We'll have to see if Respawn sees them suitable and adds them to the game, because at the minute they are still on the drawing board, but it's interesting to see what Respawn are testing out in the game. Although it's only a few days till we do get the next update, which is the collection event update with a sword. So are you excited for this, and are you going to get that sword?